Hello, everybody. We are extending the product line here on the G&K Show. This is four guys and still no clue. With me today, I have Kenji Holt, Joe Wiesman, and Brady Larson. We don't have any clue what we're talking about, but we're going to try to pretend to talk about it. So let's hop right into it. I know we got new intro music. Welcome, everybody. If you even watch the first podcast or don't, I don't really care, but you're listening to us now. We're going to do a baseball podcast. So this is the start of a baseball podcast. We're going to talk all things MLB, try to get into some college baseball. We got the College Baseball World Series on right now. Brady might mention that a little bit later, but I'm going to let the guys introduce themselves. Let's start. Kenji, how you doing, man? I mean, everybody knows and loves Kenji.
I'm doing fine. That's about it.
He's a little depressed today. All right, moving right along. Brady, how are you doing? Welcome to the podcast, first and foremost. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. It's quite the honor. Obviously, as you've heard, I'm Brady. When it comes to our baseball podcast here, just a little note to you guys. I am a Phillies fan. I am also known to love Bryce Harper maybe a little too much, but hey, that's all good. But glad to be here. Glad to be watching all the college games as well. I know you mentioned that, but it's always fun time. I've been out there a few times to watch out in Omaha.
Oh yeah,
and it's quite the experience. It's nothing like it, but it's good to be here.
Yeah, well, welcome to the pod, Brady. We're happy to
Appreciate it.
have you, and I'm sure you're going to give us some pretty ridiculous takes over the years. We've added a clown horn sound effect, so stick around for that because I'm sure it'll get played today. And then without further ado, last but not least, Joe Wiesman, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Brady said his favorite team, so I'm just going to say it. With them, my
Sure.
favorite team is the Texas Rangers. They've been kind of going off this year, and I've liked them for a while. So, promise I'm not a bandwagon. I'm just not hopping on the bandwagon. I
Yeah.
actually do like them. I've been following them for some time. I don't know very much about baseball, to be honest, like Gabe or Brady, but I'm just happy to be here. I've been friends with these guys for a really long time, and it's just always good to hang out with them, get to talk about anything with them. So I'm really glad to be
Absolutely.
on the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, the whole theme of this thing is that we still don't really have a clue. So honestly, Joe, you fit the mantra pretty well. So does Kenji because he just looks at numbers. He doesn't really know what's going on. Kenji, speaking of, by the way, I mean, for all you listeners, is that your phone that keeps beeping? I'm gonna be really honest. Is that whose ringer is on?
I think it's Kenji's.
It's got to be
Yeah,
Kenji's.
turn the ringer off. Yeah, see, I mean,
How do you turn the ringer off on your computer?
Kenji, just do not disturb on your Mac.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can just do not disturb.
his phone is flooded with DMs. So
Yeah,
there's a lot.
I got
A lot of
What?
girls.
Wow.
people texting me like crazy. 'Cause exactly who I am.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
he's
if
not
anybody,
that popular. Don't let him think. Don't let him think otherwise.
for those fans of Two Guys One Mic, no clue, you know how Kenji gets into football. We're gonna try and do our best to stimulate him to talk baseball because I mean this is the first episode. We've been kind of hyping this up for a little bit amongst the four of us. Kenji is half asleep watching a couple different baseball games, so we'll see how this goes. We're gonna try and keep him engaged. We're not gonna talk any football here. This is purely a baseball podcast. But yeah, so I guess Kenji, why don't you tell us a little bit about your favorite team? We heard it from the other two guys. Why they're your favorite team, and your relationship to them.
Well, I'm an Angels fan because of Otani. That's pretty much about it. I could honestly care less about. Actually, no. About a month ago, if you were to ask me if I care about the Angels, I would say no. But after watching baseball probably every day for the past month, which I've never done before, I have become an actual Angels fan.
I can tell it's had an effect on you.
Yeah, I actually like the players. I love Zach Neto. He's a rookie. He's a dog.
Uh-huh.
Estevez is really cool. He throws really funky, but I like him a lot.
Okay.
And Gio Urshela is hurt, but I don't know. Something about him screams dog.
Okay, I mean, I mean, exhilarating stuff right there from our very own Kenji Hole.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess
I'm not done. Also,
oh
yeah, it was really awesome to watch the Angels, take 3 games out of 4 against Joe's Rangers, and
oh
to see
jumping right in.
Otani hit like 4 home runs against them. That was pretty awesome. I
I
gotta be
can
honest.
I can pay respect where it's due.
Yeah,
He's
Hey,
a
I mean,
good
that's
guy.
hey.
As a
Otani got
fellow,
killed, so I can't really talk because the Rangers did quite a number on him. So is like the past 3 teams, freaking Angels organization. They're gonna kill him.
I agree.
But yeah, it's been pretty fun watching him.
It just all boils down to the Rangers bullpen, which honestly, I don't have anything to say about that, and I don't want to say anything about it because that's when Ohtani hit all his home runs against us. It was in the late innings. So I mean, our starting pitchers solid. Our relief could use a little work. That paired with Ohtani is just it's too bad.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, at least you got a starting roster, right? I mean, Brady's Phillies got nothing. They got no starters, they
Yeah.
got no relievers,
You're
they got
right.
no closer. They got nothing.
Well, the pitch clock's doing something to Wheeler and Nola because those are 2 all-star pitchers on the same
Yeah.
lineup,
Yep.
but haven't
Oh,
been
yeah.
performing
But
very
the rest
well.
of the league is doing pretty fine, though.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
mean,
our bullpen, hot
I wouldn't be
garbage.
too quick to hate on the Phillies. They've won like 10 out of 12 or
We've
something
won
crazy like
11 out of
that.
the last
Hey, I'm
13.
just
Yeah.
saying, the Angels bullpen, our ERA is like a 1.25 or something. So our
Yeah, I
bullpen's
mean,
insane.
that's what happens when you get rid of Rysel Iglesias. So I mean, it's not that
What?
hard.
When the Angels lost, you Kenji, you weren't around for that.
Kenji
Oh, I don't
doesn't
know.
understand. But
Kenji,
yeah, talk about
yeah,
a
we
great
have no
bullpen,
clue here.
Joe. Imagine putting up 5 runs on Jacob DeGrom in the season opener and then losing the game and getting swept by the
Yeah,
Texas
I was
Rangers.
gonna say I don't know where you're going with that, Brady, because you did start the season 0-3
Mm-hmm.
to the Rangers, who took last in their
Yep.
division last year. So I'm just like, I was gonna like let you finish, obviously, but I'm glad you kind of
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
picked
Yep.
yourself up back there.
That's a bad bullpen right there.
Yeah. Well, I'll jump into it. So I'll give a brief introduction. You probably, if you've listened to the other podcast, you probably heard me mention the Orioles before. Those are my guys. I'm from Baltimore. They've lost the first 2 to the Cubs as of this recording on June 17th.
Hey, shut up. Otani just hit a home run. Let's go.
Oh,
There it is.
a
I,
little more
I don't even
enthusiasm
know
there,
what to do,
Kenji.
man. I don't
There it
even.
is.
Be a little more excited maybe next time,
We got to
Kenji.
get you like an energy drink or something, Ken. This is crazy. I haven't seen you this low since the Packers drafted Jordan Love. Sorry, we're not going to talk football. We're not talking football.
That was
Um, yeah, I'm an Orioles fan. I have been my whole life. I love them. That made me miserable the last few years, but last season was really good. This one, they're playing pretty well.
Solid.
Yeah, so I guess that's a brief introduction of all our favorite teams. Kenji doesn't really like the Angels. He just kind of pretends to.
It's a
No, I
love-hate
do.
relationship. It's a love-hate
Even if
relationship.
Otani leaves, I will still root for the Angels.
Even when he leaves, no, he won't.
That's the perfect time to introduce the clown horn. I think. Good
No,
night.
there's no way you're gonna stick with the. Let me tell you, Kenji.
No.
I don't know if Dylan will listen to this podcast, but the Angels are the Chargers of Major League Baseball. Like Angels
I
fans
don't
are the
know.
most
We're pretty good
miserable
this
group
year.
of fans.
We're
They're the
pretty
most
good this year.
miserable. We're not even to the All Star break yet. You just sit tight and wait because they're gonna fall apart. It's inevitable. I'm telling you. All right, hey,
Hey, it's just
well,
like the Phillies getting hot in June. What can I say?
Kyle Schwarber.
Kyle
Yeah.
Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber.
yeah, it's just Phillies in June just go together. Yeah, so we're gonna give a brief little recap on what's going on up to date in Major League Baseball. We got a bunch of games going on right now as we're recording, but we can talk a little bit about where the standings are at, how we think the teams are going to finish, as well as we're going to do a little bit of a 2 different segments. We're going to do a DFA watch, which is a designate for assignment watch. Who's going to get DFA'd or who should get DFA'd, and then a players to watch. Even though Kenji doesn't really want to do it because he doesn't want to give away his fantasy baseball secrets. We're going to talk about our podcast schedule, and then we'll wrap it up and get out of here because we don't want to we don't want to keep everybody too long. But so then hopping right in, up to date in Major League Baseball. So how are we going to go about this, fellas? I mean, we all are fans, except for I guess Joe and Kenji. You guys like teams in the same division, but we can all kind of give recaps on different parts of Major League Baseball. I mean, Anybody want to kick it off? Do you want me to kick it off? I can do the AL East. I can let everybody know what's going on.
Sure.
I don't know who's in what division or what.
Kenji, what division
Yeah.
are the Angels in? Remind me.
California division.
All right, okay, he's got that. He's right.
Okay.
Yeah, never mind. We might not.
This might be a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, this might not be a good segment for Kenji.
I'll cover for Kenji. I mean,
Okay.
Rangers, AL West. Right?
Yeah, so if we go to the AL East, that's the best division in baseball. Don't try and say that it's not. And first is Tampa Bay. They're unbelievable, 51-22. They just beat the piss out of everybody. My O's are in second at 43-27, which would be good to win, I think, every other division in baseball. But we're playing in the AL East, so we're 6.5 back. The Yankees at 39-31, 10.5. Blue Jays 39-32, 11 back. And then the Boston Red Sox 35-35. Boston. But yeah, it's been the A's is a dogfight every single year. Even Boston at 35-35, they're still contenders. I think there was some crazy stat. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but wasn't there a graphic that the worst team in the AL East was like could win the AL Central or something like that? Like when you looked at the graphic.
Yeah, I think it was.
It's the NL Central right now.
It used to be the AL Central though. It's the entire AL East was better than the AL Central.
Yeah.
They had just,
It's-
all the teams had a better record than all of the AL Central.
The
which
AL
is just
mid.
nuts.
You mean AL mid?
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. Gabe
The
said
Red
it.
not-
Sox in the AL Central would be half game behind the Minnesota Twins right now,
For the
and
lead, right? Twins
for
are
the
first.
lead, and then they'd beat Milwaukee just barely.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, they're like the mid. I mean, I really call them the mid divisions because they're in the middle of the country, so they're actually mid. But the records they're also mid too. I gotta be honest, I'm not afraid of anybody in either Central Division. The Brewers scare me a little bit. I guess the Cubs are taking 2 out of first 2 to the O's. But the AL mid and the NL mid. NL Central is not as bad, but AL mid is mid because we
The
have,
NL
what is it?
Central should be a lot better in theory,
Yeah.
actually. But
Yeah, because what is the AL Central? Isn't it like it's Twins, Royals,
Twins,
Tigers,
Guardians, White Sox.
Guardians, White Sox? Yeah, I'm not afraid of anybody
Mhm.
there.
No,
Okay.
absolutely
Well, then
not.
let's hear it. Maybe we have some fans from the AL Central, but we're not going to talk about you today because this is our first episode. Joe, kick us off with the AL West.
You know, it's kind of hard for me to say this, but you know, my Rangers are on top right now, leading about 3.5 games behind or in
Bandwagon.
front of the Astros. Wow, that kind of hurts. You know, but a scary team in the AL West. Obviously, the standings are it goes Rangers at 1, and then you got the Astros, Angels, Mariners, and the Athletics. A scary team in the AL West right now is
Oakland,
actually
right?
Oakland. Yes, no, I was gonna say the Angels. The Angels have been on a tear lately. I don't really
Mhm.
want to talk about kind of what happened these past 4 days, but I mean it's for the podcast, so I'm just gonna say it. The Rangers did lose 3 out of 4 to the Angels
In
in
Texas.
that series in Texas. You know, we lost the first game, the Rangers, and you know I was kind of feeling hopeful. It's like you know I mean we dropped a game to the Cardinals last week, so
Mhm.
it's just like it's bound to happen. It's
Yeah,
baseball. It's
baseball.
baseball. But the thing is, we lost again, and then we won the third one. So I kind of had hope that we could at least tie the series, but then
Mm-hmm.
Ohtani's been on a tear. You know, our hitting hasn't been the greatest. You know, it's been I think we're number 1 in runs in the league, but obviously this past week we've been struggling. We also play the Rays during the weekend, and that was tough. Obviously, best team in baseball. We managed to take
Yeah.
1 out of 3, but which is better than getting swept, obviously. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's the Rays, man. Yeah, it was tough.
Rays are just crazy. Yeah, sneaking one game out of Tampa is all you can do.
Mhm.
So yeah, good on
Yeah, I
you
was
guys.
really glad that happened. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they Shelby Ovaldi, the I think number 1 ranked in the AL right now.
Yeah,
He might have dropped, but he's just been really solid for us. And watching the Rays just kind of beat down on him, not exactly beat down, but he's been really solid, really
they
low ERA and a WHIP the whole time. But just
yeah they hit him around pretty good. They got him pretty good.
pretty good.
Yeah, I mean Oakland, didn't they just win? I know their winning streak was snapped. Um,
They took 2 games off the race. The first 2 games off the race they took, and I was
yeah.
ecstatic. I was so happy. I would come home from work. Me and my brother would turn the A's Rays game on and
Yep.
watch them win twice in a row. It was like the greatest thing ever.
They had that
Um,
reverse boycott game. That was
they
sick.
did 20,000
That was so
20,000
fun.
fans
That was pretty
out
cool.
there. That was
Yeah.
awesome. And yeah, they've been doing good actually. 7-3 in their past 10 games. So it's just
Yeah.
like they're pretty solid. I mean,
They're 9-27 at home. I just saw that number. That's
oh man.
Wow.
wow. The Royals have lost 10 in a row. So if we go back to the AL mid for a second, they have the worst record in baseball.
It's going to
Not
be 13 in a row or 12 in a row. Just letting you know.
who are they playing?
Angels, that's why.
Oh, nah, they'll sneak one out of there. Yeah, they'll sneak one out of there.
Kenji, your entire
Kenji,
roster is good right
who's
now.
in the Angels rotation? Who's pitching for you
The
guys?
pitching?
Yeah,
Okay, I can name you some. We
here we
got
go. Here we
Brandon,
go.
what's his face? We
Here
got
we go.
Canning, who started today.
Griffin Canning. Yep.
Mhm.
He actually throws really weird.
Yeah, he does.
Um, I know 4 guys, but I don't know the names of them right now.
Okay.
Oh, Detmers.
That
I like
was
Reed
a,
Detmers.
He's the
he
lefty.
threw a no
Demers.
hitter last year. He threw a no. He's good.
Kenji,
Yeah, he
you
had like a
also have
12
another
strikeout game this
lefty.
year. That was pretty good.
Oh, Sandoval. Sandoval
Yep.
is good.
He
Sandoval.
pitched yesterday. He pitched really good yesterday.
Yeah, he's aside from Otani, I'd say he's the best starter in that rotation.
Otani's been a little tired
Yeah,
lately.
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, Otani's been a little
So
tired.
many people.
Well, when he has to put an entire team on his back just for
Yeah,
them to
dude.
win.
Honestly, it's because Mike Trout sucks this year.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think
Mike
every
Mid.
time I watch it, I think he strikes out like at least 2 times a game.
Seager just homered. Let's go. 4-2 against the Jays. Sorry guys, sorry for the interruption.
Hey,
Seager's
totally
been on tear
fine.
lately. I'm
If
just
Trout
sorry.
was even if he could hit a little bit better for average, like our team would be even better. But
Trout?
he keeps striking out every time.
Mike Flounder, you mean? Mike
I think
Flounder?
he's just trying to do too much. He's got like big shoes to fill, obviously, and he's just trying to swing out of his shoes every single at bat. So I think if
He doesn't
like
have
obviously
to, because like Taylor Ward's playing pretty well. Brandon Drury's playing really, really good for the Angels right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like he's hit 2 home runs today. Like the past 2 weeks, he's a menace. Like he's doing really good. The bottom of our lineup sucks because half of our infield is hurt, and we got a bunch of guys that we pulled up who have never hit in the major leagues before and never heard of them before.
Yeah.
But besides that, the top of our lineup is playing really good, and then our relievers
Very
play
nice.
really good, and our closer's really
Yeah,
good.
see, Kenji doesn't know much about the roster or the division or most of Major League Baseball, but he knows the team. Like you watch the games, you'll be like, they're playing pretty good lately. Like you can see it. Kenji can watch ball.
I watch multiple games a day. Like I watch like 4 games a day.
Yeah. Yep. It was like your
Nice.
Fortnite phase. It was like your Fortnite phase where you said you weren't going to really do it, but then you played it a couple times and you like watched some of the highlights. I remember when you were watching like baseball highlights for a little bit, and then now you start watching the full games. It's just how it is.
yeah, Courage JD is just more entertaining than MLB, I guess.
Apparently. But I guess that brings us to me then.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Let's hear it.
obviously
NL
we're in the NL East, which honestly should be a lot better than it is this year. I mean, Mets are always going to Met, and
Mets
that's
Met.
never going to
Fair.
change.
Mets
Yep.
gonna bet.
But currently, the Phillies are 11 for their last 13. They snapped Oakland's winning streak. They snapped Arizona's hot streak there for a second.
Hold on. Didn't Tampa snap Oakland's winning streak?
Okay, that's fair. But we beat
Gotcha.
them yesterday, the
Yeah,
day
yeah,
after
yeah.
they beat
You're right.
Tampa. But
All right.
and then we just beat Arizona and took 3 out of 4 against them. Who
Arizona's good though.
they've been on a tear lately.
Yep.
We've won the last 4 series in a row, and we're looking. Well, I would assume we're gonna win another game here against Oakland and take our 5th in a row,
Yeah.
which is big. The only problem is we go into Atlanta next week, or we play Atlanta at home.
Wasn't it Atlanta and the Mets?
Yeah,
That's the
both-
Mets.
both
Come on.
at
That's a
home,
fun
though.
week. That's a fun week
Yeah.
though. I mean, some stuff in the NL East is getting decided this week. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah.
Um,
At the end of May, we had the same schedule where we went to Atlanta and then to New York and then to Washington actually. But upcoming here at the end of June, we have Atlanta at home, New York, the Mets at home, and then we take a break and go away to Chicago to play the Cubs. But then we
Cubs
go
are red hot, man. Cubs are
then
Don't
red
sleep on the
hot.
Cubs. Don't
yeah,
sleep
but
on the
then we got
Cubs.
the Nationals at home again. So we got all the
Okay.
division home uh, games here
It
coming
must be
up.
nice to play in a division with either Oakland or the Nationals in
Yeah, or Kansas City at
pretty
this
or
point.
nice.
Kansas City. Yeah.
But
Instead,
yeah, right
our
now,
days off are against the Red Sox. Never mind. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah,
Mhm.
but you're good. But now, so we're 8 games back from Atlanta, who's in the lead, who's 44 and 26. But we're only 3 games behind Miami, who is second in the division, which we should hopefully take that over pretty quickly
Yeah.
and kind of
Yep.
gain a lead. I think us in Atlanta are probably going to end up in a dogfight to end the year. But I ultimately think we're going to have to make another run like last year coming out of the wild card
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah. You guys
Mhm.
need your pitchers to pick it up. I mean, you need
Yeah.
Wheeler and Nola to figure it out because in the playoffs, that's not going to cut it.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, but it'll be fun to watch. I mean, I know I'll be watching Braves Phillies, especially with how hot you guys have been. I know that'll be a fun
Yeah.
series.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we'll cover. I guess I'll briefly cover the other divisions in the National League. NL Mid Brewers are leading it. They're 35 and 34. Just to give you a taste of how bad that division is. Reds, the Reds, which are really fun to watch, by the way. Reds have some young guys that are really good. Andrew Abbott, lefty pitcher, like hasn't
Dela
allowed to run.
Cruz is a
And
dog.
yeah, De La Cruz is good.
Doubles
They've
and
got
stole a base.
Yep,
And scored.
they have Steer, they have McLean. Reds have some dogs. Hunter Green's really good too when he's healthy.
When he doesn't
Pirates
give
at
up
34.
7 runs in an outing.
Yeah, Pirates at 34 and 34. Half game back. Cubs
Screw the
33 and
Pirates.
37.
And the most underwhelming team in baseball,
And the
St. Louis
most
Cardinals.
the most depressing, like disappointing season in this entire 2023 season, the St. Louis Cardinals at 27 and 43. Brady, how's your dad doing with that? I mean, like, does he
Dude,
even watch the games anymore?
oh, him and Griff are really just
That's right.
loving
Griff
it.
is a fan as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just loving it, dude. I don't know what to tell you. They don't even watch anymore. They're so over it.
Yeah.
They just root for their fantasy teams and call it a day.
Yep. Yep. I had Gallegos. I was watching the game the other day against the Giants, that final game, before they got swept at home against the San Francisco Giants. And I Gallegos threw a 2-2 fastball right down the middle to Yastrzemski, who hit it out to tie the game at the very end.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was. I watched that live and I was like, of course that would happen.
Cardinals gonna Cardinal.
Yep, Cardinals going to Cardinal. NL West, the Snakes, the Arizona Diamondbacks are actually at the top of it. That may be the most surprising result so far. I got to be honest. I don't know if I would have picked Diamondbacks to lead in June. But 42 and 28 for the Diamondbacks, 7 and 3 in their last 10.
Wait, they're 42 and 28?
Yeah, 42
Yeah.
and 28 for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I did not know they were actually that good.
They're really good. Their pitching's doing a great job. Their hitters are great. Joe's favorite guy, Ketel Marte.
They got a
has
lot
been
of good
on
young
it.
guys.
Yeah.
Ketel Marte. They got. I mean, the rookie,
Corbin
obviously,
Carroll.
Corbin Carroll. Yeah, he's
Oh my goodness, Corbin Carroll.
like, come on, rookie of the year for sure.
Yeah,
McCarthy's
Put it in
pretty
the
good
bag.
too.
McCarthy's good. Yeah, and then we have the Dodgers, 39 and 31, 3 games back, 4 and 6 in their last 10. They have a huge bullpen problem.
They
They
do.
choked yesterday's game.
Massive bullpen problem.
bad.
Yeah, they have a huge problem with their bullpen. They need to go get some guys at the deadline, and they have so many starters hurt. Bobby Miller's my guy, but like Michael Grove, they brought up too. He's been bad. And Walker Buehler, of course, is on IL. Kershaw's been
Syndergaard was
fantastic.
terrible.
I think
Um,
Dustin May too. He's still not. He's not back
Yeah,
yet. They got
May's been
so many
hurt.
guys.
Yeah, they got so many guys out, and that's
tough.
not good.
Gonsolin
yeah.
did make it
Look at
back
their
though.
offense this year.
Gonsolin is good.
Gonsolin-
I don't know
Yeah.
a ton about baseball, but like they've like downgraded a ton when it comes to hitters, right? Like the past years, they've had just stacked players
Yeah.
everywhere.
Well, last year
This
they
year
had like an
so many
all-time.
mid players, like what Hayward, Peralta,
Yeah.
Rojas, are just
Mhm.
and Vargas are just like
Yeah, they're just like
They're
role
cool.
players. They're just
they
good
hit
role
like
players.
230, 240.
Yeah.
You know, do have a couple good games in a week, but that's about
Right.
it. And then you have Freddie and Mookie
Mhm.
and what Smith, and that's about it.
Yeah.
It's
Well, last year's team was gross because they had Belly on that team. They had Trey Turner on that team. They had Scherzer was only there for the year before that, but They had some dues last year, and that's why they won. What was it, like 116? They won some crazy
How did they
number of
not win
games
it
last
last
year.
year?
Because they ran into a runaway train that was the San Diego Padres.
Yep, most
Um,
underwhelming team. Not second to the Cardinals this year, but they're very
yeah, Padres have been
underperforming as
bad too.
well.
We're gonna get to them in just a
Yep.
second. Yeah, Giants then in third place at 37 and 32, 4.5 back, 8-2 in their last 10 though. Giants have kind of picked it
Mm-hmm.
up a little bit. And then of course, as Joe just mentioned, the San Diego Padres at 33 and 36, 8.5 back of Arizona, and 6-4 in their last 10. A surprising stat for that to me. They're 17 and 20 at home. Petco Park, for those San Diego fans, is rowdy. And so that's a little surprising to me that they're there, especially given how much money they spent. And then I'm not really sure anybody's surprised by this. Colorado, 29 and 43, 14 back, 3-7
Yep.
in the last 10, not playing too hot. They're just the Rockies. Yeah. So I guess that's our division recap. So then we can kind of move into our different watches. We're gonna kind of try to have some fun with this. So first and foremost, we have our DFA watch, designate for assignment watch. This is for those that don't really know Major League Baseball. This is when you're on the roster and they want to get rid of you, but they can't trade you and they can't outright send you to the minor leagues. They DFA you, which means they just outright are like, screw you. You can go anywhere else but here. We don't want you on the major league team. Good luck. So who wants to? Joe, you want to kick us off with the DFA watch? Who you been watching that deserves to get booted?
I don't think Kenji's gonna like this one, but I'm gonna say Robbie Grossman on the Texas Rangers.
Wow, is it Grossman or Grossman?
I don't know.
That tells you.
Grossman. I think it's Grossman, so I just said that wrong. But
Yeah.
Is that
it's
the guy
Okay.
that
Kenji.
DHs?
It's the bald outfielder that sometimes DHs. You said he was a dog.
Oh, I meant no. I was thinking the other guy, Tavares, was a dog. I think Grossman's yucky.
Grossman.
Grossman's
Well,
good
Can we
one,
get
Kenji.
better? Can we
Good
get better
one.
verb, please?
yeah,
Good
just
one.
kind of ruined the mood. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Anyways, putting that aside, so Robbie Grossman, he started off pretty hot for us. He was
Mm-hmm.
starting in right field while Garcia was DHing because
Yeah.
he was that good of a player, you know. But now he's playing about every other game, maybe one in every three, and he's just been going more and more down. He was hitting about 270, 280 until about the middle of May, and that's when he kind of started declining. And he hasn't. If I look at his stats, he hasn't hit a home run in
Mm-hmm.
I would say a few weeks. I'm going on a limb and say 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. And I don't know if it's like quite to the point where we have to DFA him, but the thing with the Rangers is that we have so many good outfielders. We
Yeah.
have Duran, like he's been on a tear. He was in the month of May. We have Leody Taveras. We have Travis Jankowski. We have Garcia, obviously. We have so many other guys that are
Yeah.
versatile. They're quick. They
It's
got
loaded.
good averages. You know, they could hit their spot in the lineup. And I think Grossman is kind of just not out of place, but he's kind of like the odd man out when we're
Yeah.
talking about
Do you
Rangers
think they'll?
outfield.
Do you think they'll flip him at the deadline?
Um, Knowing Bochy, I think he'll still give him a chance
Okay.
because he's not. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's to the point where you got to DFA him,
Mm-hmm.
but I think we will keep him.
Okay.
Maybe he picks it back up
Yeah.
after the All Star break, or maybe even before. Who knows? But I think he's definitely one of the guys on
Mm-hmm.
the Rangers, like aside from like Josh Smith, but no one knows who that is.
Yeah.
I've been like really struggling at the plate lately. So that's my guy. That's my guy for DFA for today.
Okay. DFA watch. That sounds good. Brady, you want to take us in next? Who's getting DFA?
Yeah.
Probably from the Phillies. Who's getting DFA?
Well, so aside from half of our bullpen, um, I would say Josh Harrison because he is 35 years old
Yep.
and he's definitely getting older and he's just there to fill in spots.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as soon as if Reese Hoskins didn't really get hurt, it would probably be a lot better for us because he wouldn't end up playing because Bowen would play third, and even when he has a day off,
Mm-hmm.
we have multiple other infield guys like Sosa that can just come in and
Yeah.
get the job done. But other than Harrison in our bullpen, I have a real concern with Gregory Soto because his control is abysmal.
It's like me in high school.
It's not there, and so it scares me. Like I don't know. He does get strikeouts when he does know how to control the ball, but his
Yeah.
control really scares me.
Mhm.
So I feel like if he keeps struggling, we got to do something about it.
Yeah. Soto, when was he an All-Star? I know he was with the Tigers. Was that
Oh,
2021 or 2020?
yeah, I think
It was
it
21.
was 21. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, because I remember when we were playing MLB The Show, he had that
Mhm.
card that was gross.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
just
So Gregory Soto right there. Joe hit us with Robbie Grossman. Kenji, who do you want off the Angels? Whether it's for performance or for you just don't like their face or whatever it is. 'Cause I feel like you probably will say something stupid here.
he's gonna say Taylor Ward.
I get the clown horn ready.
No,
Yeah.
because Taylor Ward actually plays pretty good right now. And a weird,
Certified Taylor Ward hater though, right?
yeah, his face bugs me. Looks like a drug dealer to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a guy on the Angels roster that I don't really like. I don't really like either of our catchers, to be honest, because they can't throw anybody out. I think I saw or I heard when I was watching the game that they're like one of the catchers like 3 for 19
Oh.
on throwing people out. So
Yikes.
Oh, I'm throwing people out.
yeah, like when people steal him, he's like 3 for 19.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. I
Yeah.
mean, it's because like we were, we were supposed to have like Ohape or whatever that guy's name is,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
but
Logan O'Hoppe.
he got hurt, and so now we're rocking
Bippity
with
boppity.
Tyson. Nope, I'm gonna say it.
I just made everybody stop.
Who both hit really well, but they're just terrible catchers. So I wish I could just boot both of them off my team, but
But who are you going to bring in?
that's the problem. There's nobody.
Yeah, catching depth in the league is very thin. It's like it's heavy at the top, and then it like tapers off pretty heavily.
Yeah, it's the problem for fantasy too.
Yeah, which I'm sure we'll get into when we start talking about fantasy more. So who is your official DFA? You just DFA the entire catcher's room, or what do you?
I think I'll say it's this guy that we've been playing because we're
Kenji,
injured.
look it
His
up.
name is Velasquez.
Andrew Velasquez.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was on the O's in 2020. He sucks.
he's terrible.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah, he's 28 apparently, and he sucks.
Yeah, no, he sucks, man. He's like
I want him off my
5'6".
team. I don't care if you have a good glove. Please leave my team because you are a physical burden to my Angels.
You're a waste of
The reason why, because that nobody in the bottom of our lineup can do anything is because he sits there, because he has to play, because we lost our awesome Neto. So I don't know. Hope he quits. Hope he breaks his leg or something, and we can find.
Breaks a leg. No. Hey. Wait a minute.
I meant like we'll break a leg, type of like a like playing.
Oh, shut up. No, that's not what you meant. Shut up. Shut your trap hole. Okay, moving right along. Kenji's opinion brought to you by Waste Management. We're gonna go my DFA watch, or not even DFA watch, just who they should DFA right now is nobody's gonna really know him, but CNL Perez. He's a left-handed. He's a relief pitcher for us. He was unbelievable last year after we traded Jorge Lopez at the deadline to the Twins. When Felix Bautista moved into the closer's role, Perez was a setup man. And he throws like mid to high 90s. He's got a nice little slurve. And I'm looking to have his baseball reference page and his baseball savant page pulled up right here. So I'm going to give you guys straight from the source. 2022 for Baltimore, 66 games. Let's see, where's his ERA? Hang on, that's advanced. 1.4 ERA. In 66 games, he had 2.8 FIP, 1.1 WHIP, great hits per nine, great walks per nine, was fantastic. And then you get to this year, whether it's the pitch clock or whatever. I mean, maybe we'll talk about that another time, how many pitchers have been affected by it. This year, he has nearly quadrupled his ERA. It's now ballooned to 5.5. He allowed 46 hits in 57 innings last year. He's already given up 36 hits in 24 innings this year, given up twice as many earned runs. His whip is double as high. His hits per nine is doubled. Strikeout to walk ratio has been halved. And every time he comes in the game, it's miserable. I see him come in the game and I'm like, all right, I'll turn on the game tomorrow because we're losing this. It's so simple. I hate watching him pitch. He was great last year. I wish him the best of luck. Just get him off the roster. Please.
Yeah, very nice.
Whew.
Okay.
A lot of hatred in this podcast.
No, can you feel that in the way I just
Yeah.
said? Sorry, I mean that was intense.
It's like a pit in my stomach
It's
now.
definitely time to lighten up the mood here.
Yeah, so we're gonna go players to watch. We'll kind of breeze through this because we are already at 35 minutes, which I mean that's pretty nice. Um, but my player to watch, I'll just flip around the mood on my own O's. Adley Rutschman. He's had a bunch of homers from the right side of the plate, which I think he only had one all of last year. So he's now hitting homers from both sides. He's great defensively. Number two hitter in our lineup, hitting 280, I think, on the year. The clear and obvious leader of the Orioles. Huge Adley Rutschman fan. I'll probably name my child or my dog Adley after him. So that's my guy. Yeah.
For sure.
Well, who we got next? We got Brady, Kenji, Joe. Somebody just take hold.
I guess that can be me. But obviously the most, I'd say, obvious player would be JT Realmuto after hitting for the cycle on Monday, and he's had 4 home runs in the last 4 games currently.
Yeah.
But honestly, I have a different angle here. My player to watch is Bryson Stott. Actually,
Wow.
Bryson
he's
Stott. Okay.
middle infielder, plays second base. He was a rookie last year from Vegas, but he had an awful year last year. I'm
Yep.
going to look at
He
his
did.
stats right now. Last year, he ended up hitting, 234 with in 127 games, which not ideal for what you want out of a young guy. But this year, I feel like he's really turned it around. In half as many games, he's currently hitting 301 with
Okay.
341 on base percentage,
My man.
with 7 home runs, having only 10 last year.
He
So
pulled
he's
out his
already
stats.
he's already getting there. He's over double on his runs and his RBIs, dudes, and as well as he's 2 stolen bases behind what he did all of last year.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Good young guy to play,
Let's
and
go.
pairing him with Trey Turner up in the middle of the infield is
Yeah.
spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Despite him having a very subpar year, but
Absolutely.
I feel like he'll kick it around too.
All
But
right.
good.
Bryson Stott. All right. Adley
Yeah.
Rutschman and Bryson Stott. Let's see. I
2
don't
young
wanna,
rookies from
yeah,
last
two-
year, or
two
2
young-
young
I guess-
second-year guys
Yeah.
from the rookie season last year.
Yep. Okay. Now I don't want to end on Kenji because he's probably going to say something stupid here, or it's going to be the driest thing you've ever heard. Kenji, who is your player to watch?
That's mean. I have a lot of players that I watch.
Quickly looks up his fantasy team or baseball.
My
reference.
watch list?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this guy named Luis Matos.
That was the Giants rookie.
Yeah, I watched him play yesterday.
He's good. He's a top prospect.
He walked 3 times in a row.
Mm.
And they were all like really good at bats.
Mhm.
And like they were talking about like his bat, like he hit really good in the minors. Like I think he
Yeah.
like 100 in the minors or something.
Wow.
And like his bat's still not there like in the majors, but I don't know, his plate discipline looked really, really good.
Yeah.
And he hit there with a lot of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'm sure you would have loved to have a hit, because they went into extra innings yesterday, but he let off 2 innings that I remember with the walk that helped him to score runs. So
Yeah.
I don't
Luis
know.
Matos. All right.
Yeah, he looks. I don't know anything about him. I just watched one game yesterday, and they were really high on him. The announcers were, and
Yeah.
to our friend who's a Giants fan, and he said he's a dog. So
He's a highly touted prospect, so he should be good in the league. It might take him a little bit, but certainly somebody to keep an eye on. Joe, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Josh Young.
Is it Jung or Young?
It's Young, like
Young.
Young.
Where's he from?
Spelled Jung.
I don't know where he's from. He's obviously from America, but I think
Freedom.
I think his last name was like it's from Europe or something. I can't exactly remember. I watched a video on that one time, but that's besides the point. So recently, Young has been kind of struggling these past few weeks. He he was hitting a lot of home runs. He was getting a lot of base hits in the month of May, actually. He was I think he was the AL Player of the Month, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Maybe he wasn't. I don't. He was sorry. He was the Rookie of the Month. That's what it was. And I mean, obviously, you're gonna look really good when you're on like the Rangers. When you're hitting behind Semien, Seager, Nathaniel Lowe, and Adolis Garcia.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
you're
again,
gonna look
those
pretty good.
guys getting on base, so you're gonna have consistent opportunities to get RBIs.
Yeah.
And
And you're gonna get
uh,
pitches to hit too.
yeah, exactly. And what I really like about Josh Young is that this is an interesting stat about him, but he's actually homered in every single inning. So like 1 through 9, he's the only player in the MLB to have been homered to hit a home run, like the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the way up to 9.
That's an
And
ESPN
so
stat.
that's a definitely like an ESPN set, just
Oh
digging,
yeah.
trying to find
Oh yeah.
something about Young. But that just like proves to me that it doesn't matter if he's hitting fifth or if he's hitting ninth or if he's even hitting first. He's consistently gonna be a reliable guy for you. That's
Yeah.
just like all it shows. And he's not been very hot recently, but actually today against Toronto, he just hit a home run and he almost hit another one, but the Blue Jays challenged it and it was actually foul. It was a few inches away from the foul pole. So
That's what
basically, he hit
story of my
about
life.
one and a half home runs today.
Yeah.
So like, I hope he's getting hot right now because he's really a fun player to watch.
Yeah.
Really disciplined at the play.
I feel that.
He's just a dog, like as Kenji would say. And so yeah, that'd be my guy. He's one of my favorites to watch. I love the guy.
Yeah. A few inches away from a home run. That's a story of my life. Okay. Moving right along. We're gonna go I guess now we can kind of wrap this thing up. We're gonna go for the podcast schedule. We're hoping to get an episode out every week. We're gonna recap the week prior in baseball, talk about our DFA watch, players to watch, introduce some other segments. We do have the College World Series on. I know it is the first round. Brady, do you know where it's at with that? Can you be our
Yeah,
compass?
so first game started yesterday. There's 2 games yesterday, 2 games today. And obviously you have double elimination. So
Yeah.
TCU lost the heartbreaker to Oral Roberts
Yeah.
on yesterday, and Virginia lost in the ninth, giving up 2 home runs in the 9th inning to Florida.
Yeah.
And right now you got the Wake Forest game is currently against Stanford. Is currently in it's postponed or delayed right now.
Okay. Gotcha.
We actually do have a Utah native who threw 4 innings for Stanford, Mr.
Oh yeah.
Joey Dixon.
Yeah.
But
And
which
Utah's
we-
own Braden Taylor is going to get
Joey
drafted
who?
like number 6 overall.
Joey Dixon, Kenji.
Who's that?
Bingham?
I only know Joe Weiss.
That's facts.
Joe.
We only
Yeah.
know our very own Joe Weiss. Joe
Yeah.
No big
Weiss.
deal. Shut up.
And then
Bingham.
you got LSU and Tennessee later tonight. But
Is
should be fun.
Skeens throwing tonight?
I have no idea.
Paul
But
Skeens. Okay.
I would like
he'll
to
go number
assume
2.
so. Yeah,
He'll
I
go
would
number
like to
2,
assume.
yeah. Okay.
But then you got and then you got stuff throughout the week up until the 29th is when should be over. But
Okay.
All right.
yeah.
Awesome. Well,
It's
I
exciting.
think that'll do it for us this week. Does anybody have any extra things you want to say? Brady, do you have a hot take for us? Joe, you have a hot take? Somebody say something stupid so I can use it.
Kimbrel's about to blow the game. Just
Yes,
saying.
I do.
The A's
I
are
am
gonna
watching
win.
this.
That's not a hot take. It's
Against the
Kimbrel
Oakland
for you.
A's?
Yeah,
Nah.
it's no outs, runners on first,
They just-
and Kimbrel sucks. So
They
they're
just
gonna
got a ground ball
lose.
to Trey, so they got runner on second with 1 out. But
And the
honestly,
ninth?
the Phillies losing to the Oakland A's might just be worth the clown
Oh my
horn.
goodness.
But
He's
I
not
don't
going to
think
blow a
it
save.
is.
He's going to lose the game.
Well, that too. Kenji said blow a save, but
I
Kenji
don't
doesn't know stats. He doesn't know
No,
what he's
he
talking
doesn't.
about.
But I mean, the hot take, you can take it how you want, but being at home, I think we win this series against Atlanta coming up.
Oh, okay. I'll just do a
Who's,
little
uh,
field movement.
Who's starting for you guys?
Jeez. So we got
Garbage.
Wheeler tomorrow, so
I'm just like
which
putting you on the
means
spot right now.
have we probably won't have our best guys. I think we'll probably have Taijuan Walker throw a game and probably Ranger Suarez, and maybe Wheeler.
Ranger Suarez.
Maybe Wheeler at the tail end of that, or Nola.
Yeah, I think
But-
Nola should be. Nola's due up,
Yeah,
right?
Nola
I think
should
he
be
threw
good,
a few days
actually.
ago. So
Yeah, so we'll probably have Nola, Ranger, and Taijuan. But Taijuan just shoved the other day. And
Yeah, I remember
Suarez
that
threw
line.
Ranger Suarez threw a gem yesterday, but it was the Oakland A's, so I'm not going to say too much about that. But I think going in Citizens Bank Park in Philly, I think we could easily take 2 out of the 3.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll do it for our first episode here. No clown horn. Stick around for the next episode for that. But we will see you guys. We'll catch you guys next week. We're going to record another podcast. And we're going to keep talking baseball. So join the rocket ship. Joe, you want to sign us off?
Thanks for listening to us, guys. We're just 21-year-olds who don't know hardly anything about baseball, honestly.
True.
But if this goes anywhere, that'll be awesome. Thanks for listening, guys. Love you all the 5 listeners who's going to listen to this. We love you guys.
Mom, I
Thanks
love
for
you.
listening.
All right.
Yeah, Mom.
Take care, guys.